Our next speaker is Rostyslav Fedynyshyn, head of data and analytics practice at NX, and my friend actually. And Rostislav is specialist with over 8 years experience with big data and data ingestion. He has experience with AWS project, leading of companies in the telecommunication, cloud computing, and retail. Rostislav include data distribution, processing, and mining. And Rostislav will present a deep dive into data governance with AWS. So don't forget and share your questions with Rostislav. And as usual, the best questions we will send to after the best question we will send the AWS credits and some special prize from NX. So Rostislav, hello, and stage is yours.
Yeah, hi all. Hope everything is fine on your end. Let's start. So my topic is deep dive into data governance in AWS. So I guess Metro already covered my presentation, so I'm gonna skip it. Today we're gonna speak about what is data governance, how to use data governance catalog in AWS, and finally we're gonna cover how to secure data lake in AWS S3. So first of all, what is data governance? Data governance is a collection of processes, roles, policies, standards, and metrics that ensure that effective and efficient use of information in enabling of organization to achieve its goal. So data governance in general defines who can take what action upon what data, in what situation, using what methods. So in addition, there is some other definition of data governance from Gartner glossary, for example. So they said that this is a specification of decision rights and accountability framework to ensure the appropriate behavior in the valuation, creation, consumption, and control of data and analytics. So something so sophisticated. So let's cover topic what data governance is not. So clearly a crafted data governance strategy is fundamental for any organization that work with big data. And we'll explain how business benefits from consistent common processes and responsibilities. Typically, we have some business drivers which highlight what data needs to be carefully controlled in data governance strategy and the benefits expected from this effort. So the strategy will be basics for data governance framework that organization will work on. For example, if a business driver for data governance strategy is to ensure the privacy of healthcare-related data, patient data will need to be managed securely as it falls through the business retention requirements, so such as GDPR. In addition, data governance ensures that roles related to data are clearly defined, and that responsibility and accountability are agreed upon across the enterprise organization. A well-planned data governance framework covers strategic, tactical, and operational roles and responsibilities. So we can find a couple of key concepts of big data governance, such as data quality, business process management, regulatory compliance, risk management, business policies, and data policies. What data governance is not? So data governance is frequently confused with other closely related terms and concepts, including data management and master data management. Data governance is not data management, first of all, because data governance is core component of data management, tying together 9 other disciplines such as data quality, reference, and master data management, data security, database operations, etc. Additionally, MDM, master data management ensures to take the most complete and accurate information available about the key entities like customers, suppliers, medical providers, etc. This because though entities are shared across the organization, master data management is about reconciling fragmented views of those entities. For example, a government's program will define the master data models, details in retention policies for data, and define roles and responsibilities. That's why data governance is not only master data management. And finally, data governance is not a data stewardship. That's because data governance ensures that the right people are associated with right responsibilities. It's mostly about strategy, roles, organization, and policies, while data stewardship is all about execution. I mean, data stewards take care of data assets, making certain that the actual data is consistent with the data governance plan, linked with other data assets in a control in terms data quality, compliance, security. Clearly, an efficient data governance strategy provides many benefits to organizations, including data governance provides a consistent view of common terminology for data, while individual business units retain formative flexibility. Secondly, data governance creates a plan that ensures data accuracy and completeness and consistency. Data governance provides an advanced ability to understand the location of all data, like a data map. Data governance establish a framework so organization can agree a single version of true. It's also called a 360-degree view for each customer. So for critical business entities, we can create a performative level of consistency across entities and business activities. We have some benefit, including consistent compliance. That means that data governance provides a platform for meeting the demand of government regulation, such as GDPR, US HIPAA, and other industry requirements such as PCI DSS. Finally, we have this improved data management benefit. That means that data governance brings the human dimension into highly automated, data-driven world. So it establishes codes of conduct and best practices in data management and making certain that the concern and needs beyond this traditional data and technology areas, including areas such as legal, security, compliance, are addressed consistently. So as more and more businesses and organizations comes to cloud, they realize the benefit of moving some of their data storages to cloud integration strategies. And they feel this need for effective data governance that increases at scale. So moving to cloud is all about delegation center tasks to third parties, such as infrastructure management, application development, security, etc. Cloud is also about virtualization and technical resources, which can create a data sovereignty challenges, such as regulation that mandate the data resides in central places of country. So that means data governance finds this place. First, a strategic data governance plan is crucial for migrating content to cloud. Whenever the organization is moving to hybrid or completely cloud data model, the data migration process will enjoy all the same benefits for overall data governance plan, and migration itself will be more efficient and secure. So additionally, moving data processes to the cloud adds a layer of complexity regarding security and accesses, while a completely on-premise data solution will need a robust data governance strategy. Stakeholders especially appreciate the value of data governments when the data is moving through the cloud. So there is need to highlight the fact that AWS responsibility is security of the cloud. AWS is responsible for protecting infrastructures around and all services in AWS cloud. The infrastructure is composed of hardware, software, networking, etc. And customers like we are responsible for security in the cloud. That means that also data governance is something that we should deal with. So our responsibility will be determined by cloud services such customer selects. This determines the amount of configuration work the customer must perform on some security responsibilities. For example, EC2 is categorized as infrastructure as a service, or if we're talking about abstract services such as Amazon S3 or Amazon DynamoDB, AWS operates the infrastructure layer, the operating layer and platforms, and customer access the endpoints to store retrieve data. Also, customers are responsible for managing their data. So that should be clear. And talking about already prepared solution, which we can buy on AWS Marketplace. Firstly, it's a Big ID. Big ID Cloud is designed to deploy at scale on the cloud, while enabling organizations to leverage the latest feature and apps without disturbing or overload. That means that data intelligence platform enables organizations to know their enterprise data. And main features clearly are automatically discovering, cataloging, and classifying all data, identifying sensible, personal, relatable, crucial, and duplicates data, including some unique identifier and IP, managing privacy, and transforming data security. One of the most popular already prepared solution is Collibra. So Collibra Data Intelligence Cloud is a system of record of data. Collibra delivers only end-to-end integrated data intelligence platform. So that's the purpose built to automate data workflows and deliver trusted data insight to users. This platform is open and extensible, but you should pay additional money for license. So the main products include data governance tool, which helps enterprises understand and find meaning in their data. Clearly, it's data catalog, which empowers business users. It's also data privacy product and data lineage. Also, we have such products as PKVAR, that's used as a data discovery and protection solution to locate and secure data. I can also highlight Reltio, that enables precise automated visibility and control, even in the faster moving, most complex IT environments. And also we have the Woni Arena Data Ops platform that provides complete visibility and control access across AWS and on-premises environments. This Arena is different, like end-to-end data solutions, because it uses augmented catalog, augmented governance, and self-service consumption. So it reduces some IT costs. Let's move on and start a new big topic, which is data governance catalog. So as far as you can see, data catalog is some detailed inventory that helps organization to quickly find the most appropriate data and the place where it's stored. And data catalog have some benefits for business stakeholders, such as this metadata is a way of showing the properties of a subject area and how they are related by defining a set of concepts and categories that represent the subject for rapidly growing and diverse data. Also, combination of business and technical metadata provides a unified view of data assets and reduces the effort of searching correct data. Data catalog enables business units to discover and access data securely using data classification and data policy innovation and renew growth. So in robust metadata of a foundation of data catalog, the following diagram illustrates the core features of function support. It was like a data classification that labels related data sets, data policy that outlines how data processing and management is carried out. We have also business lineage that highlights the transformation and aggregation of data needed by business users, and also some reporting layer that allows visualization and dashboarding capabilities around various data. So all these capabilities make it easier for stakeholders to get absolute view of their data, business data actually, so they can do some appropriate business actions. However, there are some business benefits for technical stakeholders because a well-managed data catalog helps technical teams to get more business context on technical and operational aspects of data using a business glossary. So it enables technical teams to perform data discovery and analysis efficiently while building data pipelines for smooth launch of data-driven application to drive business growth. So without these capabilities, it's hard for technical stakeholders to access updated version of data and manage the data at all. Moreover, this can impact the business user ability to do data impacts analysis. So using technical lineage, a data catalog enables a business unit's technical support team to analyze downstream system impacts. Also, technical lineage help to identify the state of data from origin to consumption. It's a time-consuming exercise, and it's mainly identifying the business impact sometimes. A data dictionary is a business glossary, establish a standard business definition and arrange it consistently across the data sets. Also, we can highlight some features and function of data catalog for technical stakeholders, like this business glossaries that helps to establish standard business definitions. Also, we have a data dictionary, which is a collection of names, definition, and attributes. We have technical lineage, and we have granular security controls, which are role-based, access level permissions, and access control for secure enterprise-wide deployment. And also, with a data catalog in place, it's easier to enable the preceding security controls. Any organization that efficiently secure its data builds confidence among internal and external customers, so they drive business growth. And I can consider some key facts while building a data catalog. First of all, it's you should have a team that building this data catalog must be a balanced mix of technical and business experts, because teams should have a background of data integration, which is the practice of considering data from different sources into single data set, right? And also we should have some goals of providing user with consistent access of delivery of data across subjects and types. Also, there are various tools and approaches to build a data catalog. You can start with either a custom built approach, where you choose your own tool set, or you can use third-party tools. Some of them we were observing on AWS marketplace some slides ago. So also both of their advantages and drawbacks are present. With a custom-built data catalog, the overall tools and licensing cost is lower, clearly, but additional labor is required to acquire ingest and present of data catalog to users. And having a third-party tools clearly can shorten metadata acquisition, processing, and presentation time because it provides out-of-the-box capabilities. And finally, we have this referent architecture considerations, and we're gonna cover it in the next slide. So this reference architecture diagram describes the high-level implementation of a data catalog using a custom-built approach. This approach uses a relational database, like Amazon Aurora or RDS, etc., and also AWS Glue and other available data integration tools. Technical metadata in this case is something that took place from tables, attributes, definitions, and so on, and are captured by the source and pulled on a shadowed basis from various data sources. Business metadata, considering of business context, is prepared and gathered by data stewards, who are data architects, product managers, and data analysts. The technical and business metadata is combined together, and it provides a single version of truth of collected metadata. That means that later, a combined business and technical metadata will provide details around the data taxonomy, data classification, reference data, business glossary, and security management. This data taxonomy is classification of data based on data domains, subject areas, and data facets. Also, technical metadata is collected from various enterprise sources by database, application program interface, or just by JDBC connection. So we can periodically pull data dictionary details from various relational or using API, some application data stores. Also, we can have Colibra as a data catalog, such as decreased time to market. And in that case, technical metadata will be captured by some shadowed bases of Colibra capabilities. Colibra will centralize, governs, and certifies reports, and technical metadata will be enriched with business metadata related to objects and attributes. Need to highlight that data stewardship team is essential part of this data governance process, and because stewards will update the data taxonomy, and they help to promote data quality and integrity, which is why with the data governance principle of organization. And final topic is securing of data governance, and here we have this AWS Waveform service. But first of all, what is data lake? Data lake is a centralized, curated, and secured repository that stores all your data, both in its original form and prepared for analytics. A data lake lets you break down data silos and combine different types of analytics to gain insights and guide better business decisions. Also, Waveform here is a service that makes it easy to set up and secure data lake in days. This creating data lake with Waveform is simple task actually, because you can define data source and what access and what security policies you want to apply. And in that case, Waveform then helps you to collect and catalog your data from different databases and object storages and move this data to Amazon S3 Data Lake clean and classify your data using some ML algorithms. So later, users can access and centralize data catalog that describes all available data sets in their appropriate usage. And also they can use some data sets with their choice for analytics and ML services such as Redshift, Athena, EMR, QuickSight. In general, Waveformation builds these capabilities available in AWS Glue. And I can highlight a couple of benefits of having this AWS Waveformation. So firstly, with Waveformation, you can store, catalog, and clean your data faster. You can point Waveformation at your data source and then cross the sources and move the data into S3 data lake. Also, Waveformation organizes data in S3 around the frequently used query terms. It also changes data into formats such as Apache Parquet or RSC for faster analytics. In addition, Waveformation has some built-in ML to deduplicate and find matching records. So secondly, Waveformation provides a single place to define and enforce access controls that operates as a table, column, row, cell level for all users and services that access your data. And these policies are consistently implemented with AWS EAM and Key Management Service KMS. This reduces clearly some configuring policies across the services and provides consistent enforcement and compliance. And finally, we have one more benefit here. So with Waveformation, you build a data catalog that describes the different data sets available, along with the groups of users have access to each. This makes your user more productive by helping them find the right data sets. Later, like I said, they can use EMR, Redshift, Athena, or Glue, or some analytics tool, QuickSight, to diverse data sets now housed in a single data lake. And there are a couple of use cases where we can use this AWS Waveformation. So first of all, Waveformation provides a single place to define, classify, tag, and manage permissions for data in S3. And you can define some hierarchical list of tags, assign tags to databases, tables, columns. So that's why you can configure column and cell level security. Additionally, Waveformation enforces policies without having to configure data access controls in each consuming service. That means that Waveformation automatically filters data and only reveals data by defined policy. One more benefit is that enhancing data lake reliability with AWS means that we can have query historical data versions and audit change data. Also, we have this auto compact of small files to enable push down filters to reduce data scans and improve query performance. And finally, we have some sort of delivering decentralized domain-oriented data products across your organization using some well-governed data sharing with minimal to no data movements. One more thing here is how can we integrate of Waveformation to your data lake? And many customers are modernizing their data architecture using, for example, Amazon Redshift to enable access to their data from some central data location. They are looking for a simpler, scalable, and centralized way to define and enforce access policies on their data lake on Amazon S3. And with Waveformation, it's allowed for us to simplify this access management. And Waveform here uses AWS Glue data catalog to provide access control for Amazon S3 data lake with most common used AWS analytics services. So this solution workflow consists of the following steps. So first of all, we need to store data in S3. After that, crawl metadata using AWS Glue data catalog and AWS Glue crawlers. After that, we register S3 bucket as a data lake location inside lake formation. After that, we use lake formation to grant permissions using some EM roles. For example, we can create two groups, group one and group team for each of our teams in organization. So we can provide access to group one and group two to their external schemas. Probably you need some admin role here to manage all the things. And finally, after all the steps, group one and group two users can assume their EM roles and query data using SQL query editor of their SQL clients. And instead of summary, I'd like to say that organizations today have incredible amounts of data about customers, clients, suppliers, patients, employers, and more. And when this information is properly used to better understand and market the target audience, the organization will be more successful. The same data governance will also ensure the data is trusted, well documented, and easy to find and access within the organization. And this is kept secure, compliant, and confidential. So make sure that your organization is actually your organization has this data governance investments to minimize a risk of data breaches. I think this is it from my side. Any questions?
Yeah, actually, a lot of questions, and I will skip mine questions. I will ask you after the conference. Thank you, Rosik, for your presentation, and let's jump to the question list. So the first one: how do you manage access to data in data lake for all your teams to make such data queryable via Asina or other SQL clients?
Okay, one more time, please. So how should
Yeah,
I
and please
manage what?
remember the questions because I will ask you the the
Uh-huh.
best one. Okay. So,
Okay.
how do you manage access to data in data lake for all your teams to make such data queryable via Asina or other SQL clients?
Yeah, it's a good question actually. So this is like we use this wake formation. This wake formation we do tagging of tables and also create some. Additionally, we create some groups of users. After that, we assign groups permission to query some data on S3, and Athena is actually a great service to do this ad hoc analytics querying. And with both Athena and Wake Formation, we can have we can enable data querying within our organization. So I just recommend you to take a look at Wake Formation.
So using IAM, right, from AWS when we manage permissions, right? So it's built-in AWS solution. All right.
Yeah,
So the next question: which tool do you use as a data catalog? How do you manage their access to PII data
it's also a
personally?
very good question actually. So we can use some already provided solution like Apache Atlas, Admin or other tools. And however, when we're talking about AWS world, so clearly we shouldn't keep and store any PI data on S3 because of the data breaches. So I recommend to mask this data, and inside the data catalog just mentions that this data is some kind of hashed or whatever you do with this data. But the was one of the best practices, and if your system is compliant, make sure that you don't store any PII data in data lake.
Okay. Do you track a region of data that comes from Apache Airflow or data build tools?
How it's connected with data governance. But yeah, so as like I said, we have different types of metadata. So we can collect all types of metadata by in runtime of our process and enrich data with some, enrich our final tables or intermediate tables with some intermediate attributes like this metadata. So that's why you will have this additional info in the same place with your data. Finally, when you're gonna present created data to your customer, you can just have some views to regulate and filter out unnecessary metadata attributes. Hope that answers this question.
The next one, how can we troubleshoot using the data catalog?
How can we troubleshoot using data catalog? So actually, if you build your own data catalog, you should have monitoring on place, right? Some logs collection, alerting, etc. If you use AWS one, so-called Watch will help you with their alerting and logs capabilities. If you use out-of-the-box tools like Collibra, so make sure that Collibra logs are also synced with AWS services such as, like I mentioned, AWS CloudWatch, so we can have some insights what's happened on data catalog side.
The next one, what is the most challengeable use case in your practice of data governance flow among your projects?
Yeah,
What
the
the
most challenging part. Yeah, the most challenging part is to do data strategy one, because when we're doing data strategy, we need to collect all types of business requirements, constraint, and features of the system, and after that have some quality attributes of the system that brings additional complexity. And by interviewing such business guys, you need to find what really they need. And when you have all such information, you can start building your data governance policies and strategy. But without strategy, I strongly don't recommend to do on implementation stage of a project, because you definitely will fail. So in two words, the most challenging part is to build data strategy.
Before do any deployment or data processing. What is the, I will read how it's actually states. What is possible punishment for the data governments in case data governments fail the process? So what
So it's
could
not
be
punishment.
yeah.
So it's a very complicated question actually. So if data governance is made on the site, this company like provides some services, there can be some contract definition of fines. If not, we can have some data breaches, right? So that can have some issues with companies, interaction, etc. So actually, first of all, like I said, inside data strategy, you should have all these cases defined: who, when, and in what cases data should be provided. And additionally, make sure that you appropriately test all corner cases before you release data lake to your end users. It's not only end users which use like external users, but also internal users, because your internal users can be different from different departments. Something like that.
Mhm. All right. And the last one, remember, you need to choose the best one. And the last one question: is it the standard practice to encrypt the data catalog metadata? Can we access it via Athena if it is encrypted?
I don't have answer on top of my mind. I need to check actually, but I can assume that clearly we can collect this metadata and encrypt using KMS keys. And with AWS Athena, it's a tricky one, so need to check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm also don't know the answer when I read the question. So, yeah. So please choose two questions which you think are the best.
How many? One, come again?
Two, just two.
Two. So the first question and second question were very good. Other
Uh-huh.
questions were good too, but I just remember only the first one and the second one. So I like them.
Okay, deal. So thank you again for your time, guys. Please make your donation. We have already 2,300 euros, so we need more, honestly. So please scan QR code in the top right corner, or go to charity tab in left sidebar. Rostislav, thank you again for your presentation and answers. See you later.